And girls, welcome to 5-minute lessons. Today's version, functions and direct variation. Whoops, come on. Alright, so let's talk about each one of these things real quick. What is a function? Well, I don't know, this is going to get kind of complicated, but it's really pretty simple. A function is like a little machine that you spit something into it, and then the machine spits something out of it. So you put a number into it, and then it does something to that number. Okay? So what if this was like y equals 3x? Well, if you put a 10 into this thing, it spits you out a 30, okay? And every time you put a 10 into it, it has to spit you out a 30. So it has to be reliable. If I put a 10 in later and it spits me out a 20, then something's wrong and it's not a function. So we'll talk about that, okay? What is direct a lot of time for a function, instead of saying y equals something, which is a function, I want you to know that is a function, you will see it written in function notation. These two things indicate the same thing, okay? Now, in each of these cases, you plug in an x and it pops you out another value. We could call that value y, or we could call it f of x is how you say that. So x is the dependent variable, and f of x, or y, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. X is the independent variable. We can put whatever we want for x in, and then the y, or the f of x, is the dependent variable. They depend on what we put in for x, okay? So what is direct variation? It looks like this, and we'll come back to it later. So what's the vertical line test? Well, the vertical line test tests if something's a function. So I can tell you right now, that is not going to be a function, because at some point we put in a 4 and it popped us out a 6. But later in the day we put in a 4 and it popped us out a 5. What does that look like? Well, we got 4, 6 right here. And then we got 3, 2 right here. And then we got 2, 1 right here. But then we have 4, 5 right here. So look at that. We have 2 points that are vertical from each other. And anytime you have 2 points vertical, then you have failed the vertical line test, and therefore this is not a function. So let's see if you had something that looked like this. That would be a function. Nowhere on this graph can I draw a vertical line that hits 2 points. So that is a function. That is what the graph of a function might look like, where if we have a parabola, that's a function, okay? That might be y equals x plus 2 squared. That's a function. Why? Well, we got a unique output for every unique input. What do I mean? It does not fail the vertical line test. But what about a circle? A circle is not a function because it fails the vertical line test all over the place. But it only has to fail it once for it to not be a function. You will find out you cannot write the equation of a circle as y equals. It is not possible. Well, as a single equation. That's all I got to do is tell you something that's not possible, and you guys will try to do it, but I love it. Okay, so what's direct variation? Well, you already know about y equals mx plus b. That is not direct variation. Direct variation is y equals mx. So basically, it's a line whose y-intercept is 0. But in the case of direct variation, for some reason, since it's just a constant that varies, we change that m to a k. That's all direct variation is. Not a big deal at all. 5-minute video, short today. Boom!